Where will my help come from? Is it from the hills? No. Our help comes from the Lord that makes heaven and the earth. When people are faced with problem, most of the time they do two things. One, they blame others. They blame the government. They blame their spouse. They blame their children. They blame the structure. They blame their boss. They blame virtually everything except themselves. But we can't solve a problem that way. We can't get the solution to a problem blaming others. We can't succeed playing the blame game. So we must take responsibility for everything happening in our life, because that is the only thing that can make us to sit down gently and think through the problem so that we can get a plan to solve it. And the second thing people do when they are faced with problem is they run to people. They run to people. They run to families. They run to friends. They run to neighbors. Some to their bosses, and some run to books, to mentors, to ministers, to priests, to pastors, and some runs to tapes of great leaders, books of great leaders, and some are wise enough to run to the Bible. So those are the sources people run to when they are faced with problem. And John C. Maxwell rated all of those sources to when they are faced with problem according to their percentage is that virtually most of the people runs to their family. Like about 55% of the people faced with problem will run to their family, and 45% will run to their friends, and 40% will go to the Bible, and 25% will go to other books, 18% will run to ministers or priests, and 9% will go to tapes by leaders, and 7% will run to their boss or their employer, and only 4% will seek the help of a professional counselor. Actually, those that run to their families, it is both good and bad. It's both good and bad, because we must not be quick to forget that the Bible says a man's enemies shall be those of his household. Those that crucified Jesus Christ were his people. Those that sold Joseph to slavery were his brethren, his brothers, and those that burned Samson and delivered him to the Philistines, was his people. They planned and burned him and delivered him to the Philistines. So the people of a man's household shall be their enemies. But also we need the help of our families, because they are the one that stands by us. They said blood is thicker than water. So we run to family, those that can help. So we must cherish our family, because when we are faced with one problem or the other, we will run to them. And woe to those that spend the rest of their life working for money and neglecting their families. Why? Because at their deathbed, money will not be able to even save them. Money will not be able to heal them. Money will not be able to stand beside them while they are on their deathbed. The only people that will do that, they are their families, their loved ones, those they love. So running to friends too is not bad, it's okay, because even the Bible says that do not go to the house of a brother while you are in problem, so that you will not grow weary of your problem, but rather a friend that is closer is better than a brother that is far away. So we must learn to go to friends too, and also to the Bible. The Bible is a compendium of fact and truth that delivers, that solves all life's problems. So one of the ways we can find ourselves out of a problem is turning to the Bible, because there lies solutions to all life's problems. Also, we turn to book, because there we have the wisdom of great leaders. They taking the time to pen down what they've learned during their time. They pen it down in the book, and you can have access to it. When they are faced with the same problem that you are faced with, how they weave their way around it, how they got to solve, and the wisdom they gleaned from solving their problem. So when you read great leaders' book, you have access to their mind. You have access to their way of solving problems. And also, when you go to priest or go to a minister, because those people that are placed in such position by God so that they can feed people with wisdom, with knowledge, and with understanding, as God told Jeremiah in Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 16, that I will give the people a pastor after my own heart, which shall teach the people wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So we need counselors, we need ministers, we need pastors, those with the heart of a good shepherd. They will lead you aright. And also our bosses, you can go to them. There are solutions to some problem. When you go to your boss, go to your employer, they will help you because they know you are a diligent type. When you have one problem or the other and you run to them, they will surely help you out. So those are many more that the good sources that you can run to when you have problem. But the problem I have with people is most of the time they look to other sources without looking at themselves. And whereas the solution to your problem lies on your inside, because people are not your problem. Most time you are your problem. So what you need to do to solve your problem, look inwards. There lies the answer. Look inward, and I'm telling you, you will hear a still small voice telling you that this is the way that you should walk, and if you walk in it, I'm telling you, you find your way out of that problem. So look to others, and also don't forget to look to yourself. And above all, the solution to all life's problems comes from God, because God is intentional at sending his people problem whenever he wants to lift them up, and he's also intentional in making a way of escape so that the problem will not destroy you. So rise up today, run to the right source, stop blaming people, run to God and look inward, because there lies the answers to your problem.